Hey, what's happening? Everyone, SirJames coming at you guys with another video. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your week because we are just 2 days away from 2018. So in this case, happy early new year to each and every one of you. So I figured in today's video, I'll give you guys my final video of 2017. Took over a few different things such as what were my favorite games of this year, what are some of the favorite items or collectibles that I've gotten, what do I look forward to as far as 2018 goes, and just general things like that. So before I get started with my top overall games of 2017, a couple things I want to quickly go over with you guys. First off, if you guys have basically a little man cave or room, or you have like a bunch of Nintendo items, then this might be something that'll catch your interest, which is one of these. Now this is a Super Metroid canvas art. They also have one for Super Mario World. I've seen this over at GameStop and EB Games, and what's nice too is that you can actually put batteries in it, and you basically give it a nice tap, which actually was already lit up, but hopefully you guys can see it on camera. This actually lights up, so if you have this displayed on your wall at night, they actually look pretty neat. You can't really tell from now because obviously everything's all brightly lit. But like I said, these are pretty neat. They go for about $25 at GameStop or EB Games, and like I said, there's two different ones, Super Metroid, and they also have one for Super Mario World as well. So just thought I'd let you guys know. And also too, the folks over at GameStop handed me a couple of these alternate art covers for Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch, which of course we have one in blue, and we also have one in red. And last but not least, if you guys are fans of collectibles and statues, over on the PlayStation Gear Store, they have a really killer deal for a Kratos statue. It used to be $500 when it first came out, and then this year was $300, but right now it's been reduced again. There's only 500 of these made, but again, it's a 26-inch Kratos statue from God of War, and he's currently at $240. A link to that is in the description down below, just so you guys know I did order one, so if everything goes through, then that's going to be, well, basically my first unboxing video of 2018, so now you guys have an idea or a sneak peek, if you will. Anyways, starting off with what were my top overall games of 2016. I was going to do like a top 4 type thing, but I figured, you know what, there's 6 games that I really enjoyed, so these are the 6 games. And again, my list is not in any specific order, and I have not played every single game this year, just kind of a heads up. First one on the list is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, specifically in VR, because a horror game and VR is just a match made in heaven, because your typical situation for a horror game is sitting in the dark playing it late at night. However, if you were to take that aspect but in a virtual reality where you're now immersed into the game even more, it's pretty creepy, and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard definitely offered a lot of creepiness factor in a VR perspective. I mean, it was tough to play in VR, I'm not gonna lie, but I pushed myself through it, and it was definitely a fun-filled experience, which I'm pretty sure the VR option should be coming out to the HTC Vive in the beginning of 2018. If so, and you have a Vive, you should definitely check it out, because I will be if it does come out to the Vive as well. Next up on the list is, of course, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. Another really fun-filled title, which also won Game of the Year as well, which I don't really pay attention much to the Game Awards, so whether or not you agree with that or not, that's totally up to you. But again, it was another really fun game. Now for me, when it comes to the Legend of Zelda games, I was never introduced to them in my childhood times. I mean, I think my cousins had them, but again, I was never fully introduced to them completely. And I didn't get into the Legend of Zelda games until like my late teens to early adult years. And just Breath of the Wild, again, I like open world games, so having an open world Zelda game was just really fulfilling, and I like being able to explore all these different environments and situations. And I'm not really big into puzzles, so the puzzle solving in the game was definitely fun and rewarding. And of course, the moment when you finally get to pull the Master Sword out was another epic moment. But like I said, I just liked every single moment of it, and how the environments affected your character in different ways. Like if you're wearing heavy armor and you're in a thunderstorm, basically the lightning was going to be attracted to you. Just little details like that was really fun and unique, and I definitely enjoyed it. Another one on my list is, of course, Horizon Zero Dawn by Guerrilla Games, which are well known for the Killzone franchise. So for them releasing this completely new IP, not knowing how it was going to go, actually turned out really successful to the point where, as far as the Game of the Year awards go, that actually almost won Game of the Year, to be honest. But it was definitely a really good game. I just liked everything about it. Aloy, the situation with all these machines, and how Aloy was basically curious. You know, she's trying to figure out who her mother is. She's not understanding why certain things are forbidden, why she can't go there, and finding this unique piece that's basically kind of communicating with her and giving her all sorts of information. And as she uses that towards her advantage and progresses to basically try to solve the big mystery is, you know, who is her mother? It just, you know, overall was a really fun-filled adventure and kind of a sad ending as well. But I'm definitely looking forward to see what Guerrilla Games does next, whether the next title or whether it's a continuation of that one, which, again, I would totally be down for that one. Next up, of course, is a Microsoft exclusive known as Cuphead. Cuphead is a really fun, unique platformer. By the way, it's only $20, and you just have this really unique artwork. Kind of go for like the old school, I don't know what year, like what, 60s, 70s, or maybe before that. But the music was great, the gameplay was solid and challenging, by the way. I know it's one of those games that got a lot of people frustrated to the point where even a lot of people couldn't get past the tutorial level, which is actually kind of shocking, but again, another fun, unique game, and I'm hoping that, you know, Microsoft pushes some other games out for 2018, so we'll kind of see what they go from there. Another really fun game is another Nintendo Switch title known as Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I've always been a big fan of the Xenoblade games. The Wii U version was okay. The Wii version was definitely a very good title, and, you know, waiting for the second one to come out, it was definitely a really good one to have, because, again, one of the type of games that I like besides, you know, action, adventure, and shooters is that I also like RPGs or JRPGs. And again, it was another fun fulfilled title and a really good exclusive for the Switch. And of course, last but not least is NieR Automata or Automata. I'm not sure how you properly pronounce it, but again, it's the newest NieR game. Again, that one's also really fun. I just like everything about it because, again, it's a pretty much action RPG, and just I like the different situations that you get involved with because the camera will pan around to different situations, and I just like how they did the camera work. The gameplay was rock solid. I know there were some issues with the PC version for those on that one, but the PS4 side of things actually was pretty smooth for the most part. And of course, just like I said, it had a pretty interesting twist and story going along, and just the music. Like I said, NieR Automata is another really good title you should definitely think of picking up if you have yet to experience. And that's pretty much the 6 games overall. Like I said, I haven't played every single game of this year, so there's going to be some games that I didn't mention that you guys might be upset with. But again, I haven't played every single game, like Persona 5, for example. I haven't played that one. And there was another game that was in the it was part of the Game of the Year poll. It was a Hell something. I can't remember the title, but that's another one I regret not being able to play this year. So there's a couple, so you guys know. Now, as far as what were some of my favorite items of 2017 that I have gotten, is actually a few. The first one, of course, was from a collector's edition of For Honor. Now, the collector's edition was a bit overpriced in my opinion, especially for what you got inside the box, but the statue in it was pretty dope, I gotta admit. The statue was really nice of Apollyon, so you can always refer back to my unboxing video, which a link is in the description down below to that one. Another one was getting that sweet deal on Black Friday for that Razer Panthera arcade fight stick. And I'd never owned an arcade fight stick in the past, but the Razer one was actually really good. Unfortunately for the Panthera one, you can't really change the artwork. I mean, technically you can, but you would have to kind of ruin it a little bit to kind of be able to do that, because some of the old models that I looked into, like specifically some of the ones for the Xbox, they had it where you could like take off some of the screws and remove the panel, and then, you know, you could create your own custom artwork for it. But here you're going to have to kind of work for that one if that's a feature that you want to do. But again, they do have 2 different options. They have the blue Razer logo one that I have, which honestly is perfectly fine for me, and of course they also have the Street Fighter one. And best of all, you could even customize it, so you could change out the buttons, change out the actual nub themselves. But again, it was a pretty neat item. Next up is, of course, a cloak that I got at Universal Studios. What kind of cloak? You guessed it, a cloak from Harry Potter. Now, they have cloaks for all the different schools. So, of course, they got Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Slytherin, and Gryffindor as well. And the one that I got was for Ravenclaw. That's my class right there. And it was a bit on the pricey side, so I kind of just went for it. I think it was like $110, $120. But it's 100% polyester, and every time I go to Universal, I wear it, and I just love it. I mean, it's really great. The fabric is nice. It's heavy duty. You even got like a little wand pocket so you can carry your wand around. So, like I said, that's another item that I loved. And let's see, what else? Oh, yeah. And last but not least is this bag from the Destiny 2 Collector's Edition. Now, I got this Collector's Edition for $99 with Amazon Prime. The original price tag is $250, which I still feel like that's overpriced. And I know it's been on sale too for about $200, which is still overpriced. So if you get the Collector's Edition for about $160 or less, and I think that's a much better deal. But like I said, this bag is very nice and heavy duty. I like the fact that you could customize it too. So right now it's in its backpack mode. You could change these around so you could have it as a messenger bag, or you could have it as a sling bag. One of the things that I never did tell you guys, or that I regret not showing you guys, was my old bag in comparison. This is my old messenger bag that I've carried around for many, many years now. This is during the time of Halo 3, by the way. I don't remember the year in which that came out, but I've had this bag before the game ever came out, something that I picked up at GameStop. This is just a nice heavy-duty bag as well, and I've had this for years. It's been abused, and it's held up greatly. That has not once ripped on me. The only thing that's kind of failed after the years is like the Velcro on it doesn't hold as well as it used to. But again, this was a neat bag, so to finally upgrade this to something like this was definitely worth it. And again, this is definitely no exception here. This is definitely a very heavy duty bag. Now, is it going to hold up as well as the Halo 3 one? Not entirely sure, because I know maybe a few portions here might kind of scuff up a little bit, possibly. But for the most part, everything else around it is definitely going to hold up in my opinion. So I'm definitely going to be using this as my new go-to bag, but I'm still keeping the Halo one as memories, because just in case something happens, I got a backup. And that's pretty much it as far as that goes. And of course, as far as what were some of my favorite moments of this year. For one, finally getting an HTC Vive was one of my favorite moments, which I got towards the beginning of the year. Another one, of course, is getting Nintendo's newest console, the Nintendo Switch, which I'm loving that. Can't wait to see what they do for 2018. Another moment as far as work goes is that, one, I was moved into a full-time spot. And of course, I also got a raise on my earnings as well, so I'm now making more than I used to, plus having more additional hours, and best of all, having both Saturday and Sunday free, leaving me options to kind of enjoy my weekend this time around is also a really nice benefit. And last but not least was the time that I had at PlayStation Experience 2017. And the fact that I was able to fully go all out this year. Because last year, as far as PlayStation Experience goes, I was only able to go on Sunday because I was still working part-time and I was still scheduled to work on Saturday. So there's a lot of things that I missed out on. But to be able to go this year, where not only did I get the early bird ticket, got into a hotel, even though technically the convention's about a 30-35 minute drive from me, but it's better than dealing with all that traffic BS for sure over the weekend. But again, getting my early bird ticket special to be part of that little special preview event on Friday, to be able to stay at a nice hotel actually, even though it was on the cheap side, but it was a good cheap, not like bad cheap. And of course, just being able to fully enjoy the convention, plus getting the jacket that I was wanting to get because I wasn't able to get last year due to the fact that I didn't know that they weren't accepting cash for whatever odd reason. Just overall was a really fun experience. And best of all, I actually got the chance to meet a friend of mine who I've only met through online for about, I've known him for about, 4 or 5 years. It's been around that time. And he actually came out because I told him, hey, I have an extra bed at the hotel I'm staying at, and he actually drove all the way from Arizona, which again, it's not too far of a drive. I think it was about a 5 to 6 hour drive for him, and I got to meet him in person too. So again, that was a really fun experience, and we are looking forward to doing that again at the next PSX. Hopefully, if it's in the same location, which I'm pretty sure it will be. And that's pretty much it as far as that goes. Now, what do I look forward to as far as 2018 goes? Well, first off, I'm looking forward to all the new games and movies to be released. And there's a couple particular items that I really want to get. The first one, I kind of failed that one right there. The first one I want to get is a camera lens, which is a Canon 10 to 18 millimeter lens. This kit lens that I'm filming with right now is a 18 to 55, so I have to have it set back far just so I could kind of get everything in frame, so depending on how I want to work that. But a 10 to 18 one would be perfect for my filming situation, so hopefully I could get a deal on one. It's pretty pricey though, because that lens is about $280, and one of the things that I really want to do as far as 2018 goes is to cut back my spending, because I feel like I spent way too much in this year. So hopefully I don't spend as much as I do in 2018. Another item that I need to get is to do an upgrade on my computer, specifically to upgrade the Intel core. The Intel core I have is the Intel Core i7 4th gen, so I want to upgrade that to the 7th gen. Because I know a lot of the VR games that have been coming out have been like, requirements, or they recommend the 6th gen on up, so I figured it would be a good time to upgrade that. As far as the graphics card goes, my graphics card is doing fine, which is the NVIDIA GTX 1070. I've had no issues with that. But who knows, maybe there might be a good deal on the NVIDIA GTX 1080 Ti, possibly, or maybe they might release an even newer card than I might get. Not entirely sure where that's going. But besides that, like I said, just a lot of the new games. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Nintendo pushes out, Sony, and hopefully Microsoft pushes something, because Microsoft, I know they're not going to be watching this video, but they developed a really good system. The Xbox One X is a really solid console. All they need to do now is to push out the content. So whether they're going to do that, not entirely sure, and hopefully they don't delay Crackdown 3 again. So just saying that needs to come out finally, and I'm hoping, I don't know if it's planned for this year, for 2018, but we'd love to see Kingdom Hearts 3. We've been waiting years for Kingdom Hearts 3. Just give it to us. But don't rush it out, of course. Make sure it's solid. But waiting for that one. And see, besides that, I'm looking forward to attending PlayStation Experience again. I'm hoping to do BlitzCon. That's another thing I've always wanted to do, and I've always wanted to do Comic-Con. And so I'm just hoping maybe kind of do some more conventions that I've never got to do before, which will be a nice experience for me. But that's really about it. But like I said, just kind of a little last video of 2017. If I made a few mistakes, it's not a big deal. I'm not trying to make this video perfect. Just, again, I'm in the mood of relaxing. I'm currently replaying the entire Metal Gear Solid franchise. So I've already beaten Metal Gear Solid 1. I'm currently on the MGS2 from the HD collection. And I've also gotten a few pickups as well, which is the Hatsune Miku Project Diva F Seconds, Project Diva F, and of course the Hyperdimension Neptunia as well. These are complete in box, which is another thing that you might want to consider if you don't already have a PlayStation 3, or if you do, you might want to hit up your local GameStops and stuff like that, because a lot of the PS3 games are like super cheap right now. You could find most of them for about less than $10. So if there's any big games that you've been wanting to get, now would be the time to get them, because I don't know what's going to happen to that selection as far as the end of the year goes. But just, again, throwing some ideas out there. But until then, I'll see you guys in 2018. Hopefully my Kratos statue is ordered. That way I can give you guys a nice big unboxing video, because I'm super stoked for that. And until then, I'll see you guys next time.